This is Chats with Ryan Trainer from Tassie Bushranger and
PJ from Addicted to Grow, and welcome. Big man, how are you?
Good. Yourself?
Yeah, well, I'm glad we were able to fiddle around with times today.
Yeah, it worked well. Yeah.
How are you doing?
Yeah, good. Grace is asleep at the minute, so I'm just hoping she stays asleep for the duration.
Spot on. Awesome. Okay, so yeah, how's your day been?
Yeah, pretty good. Pretty quiet one. We just went out for lunch for a little while because there's a cafe nearby that's got like a indoor playground, and they've just reopened the playground up.
Oh, that's lovely.
Yeah. They got like a ball pit and a slide and sort of a bit of a climbing gym thing. So we spent a little while there.
Oh, that's really lovely. I saw the photos.
Then, yeah. How about yourself?
Yeah, good. So today I've done away with my whiteboard. So this is new for me.
Oh, yeah.
I'm now using an actual digital calendar.
So,
so I just picked up the boys from school.
hang on, she's just crying. I'll just grab her and come back.
Go for it.
Have a chat with BJ with me.
Hello, Grace. Look at the big smirk under there.
Yeah.
She wants to.
You want to keep that? All right.
She was thinking about it. Yeah. So I just had 2 coaching calls before that.
Yeah.
And I've got. I had another phone call before that. I had a client in the gym before that, and I had 2 online product people this morning. So I've got you now, and then I'll finish off. There's a gentleman in the gym now, so I'll finish off the afternoon with him, and then I've got one. I've got one client at 5 for some boxing, and then I've got nothing till 9 o'clock. I'm doing a meditation with a mum with 2 kids at 9 o'clock. So that meditation will be done when the kids go to sleep.
Yeah, cool. So is that a pretty standard day for you? Sounds like a fair bit.
Today was probably a lot busier than any other day. I'll read through tomorrow just so you can you get an understanding of the days. Give me a sec and I'll share it with you. So tomorrow will be 7:30, 10 o'clock, 10 o'clock here face-to-face, 11 o'clock online call, 12 o'clock face-to-face, and then nothing till 3:30, and then 5, and then that's it. So no, today, Mondays and Wednesdays are a little bit busier than normal.
Yeah.
Tuesdays and Thursdays tend to be a little bit quieter. And then Fridays are pretty cruisy. And Saturdays, I've usually got a guy in Saturday from 11 till sort of 1:30.
Yeah, right. Long one. Yeah.
Yeah. So he's mental health coaching and then personal training all at once.
Oh, okay.
So it's pretty good. And he's having a lot of progress. So it's really good.
Yeah, to be able to do both with the one person's very beneficial for him.
Yeah. So cool. He's really happy with that.
They just announced yesterday that gyms are opening back up as of Friday here.
Yeah. So that's it's a big bonus.
Yeah, Monday week I'm starting with a PT for an hour each Monday.
Nice. Well done.
That'll be really good. And yeah, getting back to MMA twice a week as well. So.
Ooh, wow. That's going to be awesome.
Yeah. Probably about 2 years ago, I did MMA for a good while, and then that gym shut down, and I never really got back to it. But the guys
right,
opening back up again, so be good to get back into it. Yeah,
cool. That's good. That's good. I'm really proud of you for doing the gym work. That's really that's good for you. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Because I do have a bench press at home, but I've never really had sort of formal training, and I'm worried about my form, so I've never push the weight at all. I've only ever really done light stuff, so it'd be good to get in with a PT and work on that form and have a bit more confidence around. Because I have lower back trouble, I'm always a bit worried about that when I just sort of do stuff.
Yeah. I understand.
Yeah. So looking forward to that.
Oh, that's good. That's good. All right, let's grab a topic for the week. What have you been reading this week?
Well, I've actually just finished one. You're pointing at me, Jack. So I just finished a fantasy novel that's called Chasing Graves.
Oh yeah, okay.
Which is it's a fantasy novel, and the basic concept is that when people die, they come back as ghosts, and whoever holds their coin has control of them.
Ooh.
And so people get rich by owning ghosts, basically. And
that's pretty cool.
And the story's all about a guy who gets turned into a ghost himself, and him trying to deal with that, basically. So really unusual story, but I don't know what that does, but I've probably read it in less than a week, and it's about 400 pages, so that's very
nice
quick
one
for me.
Yeah, nice one.
Yeah, got really into it. So that was really good.
That's good. What was your biggest outcome out of that?
For me, because I am trying to do more writing myself, I think it was the reminder of creating something unique, which I think I mentioned to you. I'm aware that my world, because I started when I was so young, is sort of a bit cliche and mainstream.
Yeah.
And so just how great his unique world was and how interesting he made it was probably the biggest take out of the book.
Yeah. That's really good. So what did that spark inside you, I guess, to sort of think, what did that sort of spark inside you to go, yeah, I could add some of these aspects to myself?
Well, what I have done from it actually is started a writing Facebook group. So I've just got into a few different book and author groups that sort of have thousands of people in them and said, hey, who's interested in doing a bit of writing together and sharing our writing and sort of setting challenges.
That's pretty good.
With the aim of just getting 5 to 10 people in a group so we can really get to know each other and our own writing. And
that's a good idea.
Weekly writing challenges. So I've had 3 people take me up. So there's 4 of us in the group so far.
That's really good. Good on you.
Yeah. So branching out, I guess, and just will give me that accountability to my writing as well.
Yeah, that's good. I heard a really good one the other day, and it was, don't try and write a book, try and become a writer.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I really like that. And that's probably another part of, so this is what I'm reading at the moment.
Oh, yeah, I think I saw it in a post, yeah.
Yeah, key person of influence. And I'm going to, you're going to love this because it asks you these little questions, right? So what comes easy to you that is hard for others?
Probably not worrying is something I'm good.
Yeah, okay. Not what? Yeah, okay. That's good.
Which actually there's kind of 2 sides to it. I guess I do worry about some things, but really I worry about little things where people worry about big things, I guess.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Or I guess not worrying about the things you can't change is probably a better way to put it.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Good. All right. Cool. I'm going to throw this at you because I see this in you, right? What comes easier to you than it's harder for others? I would say your imagination comes easier to you than it does to others.
Yeah.
I think, right? So then answer this, right? If you got to do a month of fully paid work experience in any industry, job, business or hobby, what would you do?
Where I'm sitting right now probably would be around writing, because that is where I'm focusing right now.
Yeah.
Some outdoor survival stuff would probably be the other thing.
Yeah. And that leads me to the next question. Ready? If you and your team had to apply your skills to something purely for the fun of it, what project would you work on?
Yeah, I would love to do a wilderness survival month where I literally just go out for a pack for a month,
Yep.
which I should have got organised before having a child to do that, because it's obviously going to be a hell of a lot harder to have a free month now than in the past. But
No, that's all right. We'll organise that.
yeah, it's certainly something I'd love to do one day to test the skills. I don't know if you've ever watched the show Alone, where they only get 10 items to go out.
Yeah, I've seen that.
So maybe not quite that extreme, but only bringing what I can carry still, though.
Yeah, I like the idea of that.
Would be awesome.
Yeah.
Your favourite sound, isn't it?
Yeah, that's really good. That's really good. Those answers, like, you know, when you start thinking about a key person of influence and you think about some of the things that you really want to achieve in your life, like we've spoken about these things often. And this is what he talks about in the book, about becoming that key person of influence, because it's like you're combining imagination, fantasy, bushwalking and stuff. And then, like, think about that for a second. It's like it would be very rare for someone to have such similar interests to you in such detail. And that's what makes you a key person of influence in that space for you.
Yeah.
And then when you write it, right, see, this becomes the thing. It's like if you wanted to become a writer and that's the gift that you want to share with the world, this is what they call that everyone has that gift. And when you focus on just those things that light only you up, that's where you become, I guess, successful, because you never let anything get in your way.
Yeah. Yeah. It's interesting because in a way they are two very different things, the outdoor stuff and the writing being more a nerdy side of my character, but yet in a way I think they do also, there are blurred lines between the two.
Yeah, they complement each other big time.
Yeah. So I had a question for you, which I was curious to hear your answer on, is how do you know that you're doing the best thing for your child? So when you make decisions such as schooling or, I don't know, even what they eat and stuff like that.
Good question. I always refer to the kids as, like sometimes I even go, I catch myself saying, do you want this? And I'll refer it really quickly and I'll go, would you like this? Or I would say, what would you like? Yeah. So, you know, when it comes to choosing dinners, I give the kids a lot of option, to be honest. Like when I was growing up, it was like whatever my mum cooked was it.
Yeah.
And I see the benefit of that. But I also see the benefit now. It's kind of like I just say to my kids, what do you want? Do you want pasta? Do you want eggs? Do you want this? Do you want toast? Do you want a sandwich? And then they're sort of just like, oh, I feel like this. And as much as it gives them choice, I think I just feel as if I'm giving them the decision rather than me.
Yeah.
And
if they've chosen it, then you know they're going to eat it, I guess.
That's the other part of it. But I like the idea that subconsciously that's teaching them to do more things that they like.
Yeah.
And from a psychological point of view, moving forward in life, if we restrict choices, if you restrict choices when you're young, and especially in the first 0 to 7 years, what can happen is that they can then use choice in their future against themselves. So they're just like, now I've got all this choice. I want to do this. I want to do that. I want to do it all the time. Especially if there's a negative charge when they're younger. So now we're getting really deep. I don't want to get too deep about it. But basically, if they enjoyed their childhood, they'll enjoy their future based on what was in their childhood. But if you put too many rules and restrictions on them when they're young, when they grow up and then there's specifically no one putting rules and restrictions, they'll go to extreme, especially if it made them feel negative when they were young.
Yeah.
Because all of a sudden when they grow up, you can see that.
I can resonate with that personally. I mean, I had a great childhood and I really respect what my parents did, but they were a lot stricter than most of my friends' parents. And so, yeah, when I hit college at 17, I then took every freedom I could. So, yeah, can definitely understand that one.
There you go. So that would be what my choice, my decisions now for the kids on what they eat, where they play. Like, for example, sometimes if it's a really beautiful day outside, like I'll say, if I've seen them on their iPad too much, right? I'll say, all right, like, let's go to the park. And I'll be like really sort of forceful about, yeah, it's a beautiful day. Let's go and get some exercise and have some fun. It's going to make us feel really energetic, you know, and then we'll go out and ride bikes and scooters and everything like that. Yeah. And then when they get home, I can see a different side of them. They don't want to be on their iPod straight away. And then we'll do something like sandwiches and we'll make them together and just a little bit more fun things. So I think the other thing too is being, I guess persuasive, a little bit manipulative about how you can play that role. If you don't put so much emphasis on it, you can actually use it to your advantage.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, even just the difference between if you were to say, go outside and play on your bikes compared to let's go to the park and make it something they're doing with you as well. And you make it more exciting and interesting to go outside, I think, aren't you?
Yeah. And it's, and a lot of it is, well, a lot of it's always been, you know, verbiage, like the way that we speak to each other. And that comes down to obviously how we hear it in our head. Like if you just turn to kids and you just go, oh, clean your room. And it's like, if you get down on the ground first and you start to clean the house, like you're saying like, oh, clean, let's tidy the room together.
Yeah.
And then it becomes a game because you're like, oh, who can put the Lego in the bucket fastest? Like totally changes the dynamic of how, and then once you explain why you're cleaning the room, it changes that whole, let's clean the floor so that we can lay down and wrestle and we can have tickle time. And then that changes the whole dynamic between laying on top of Lego and like not cleaning the room, right? So you can really use, once you start thinking about it, you can use your words and your thoughts to go in the direction you want them to go.
Yeah. I think she's ready to go.
Yeah, I was going to say she's getting in that squirmy moment.
Yeah. The reason I asked that question is because a while ago, my mum, when we were talking about, as I just mentioned, as I got 17 and started playing up a bit, she said to me, I hope we did the right thing by you then. And the response that I had was that you did what you thought was best at the time. And I think it's, as a parent, and I'm already sort of starting to realize that, is when you make a decision, you just got to make it and stick with it. And I guess ride it out, because you can only do what you think's best. And it might be all right to look back in a year or 10's time and think, oh, I could have done that different. But that there's no help in doing that, I guess.
I really like. Actually, there's heaps of stuff that I've still got to share with you, obviously, and some of them is like reflections for the week, right? So here's a good one, right? A lot of the time people look over a year and they go, what did I achieve in the year? And what did I get out of it? And did I chase the goals that I wanted to? How could I change it for the year after? And what I started doing a while back was doing that on a weekly basis, and now obviously on a daily basis. So I always tell people, time block and schedule time, and you're going to start to realize that now with Grace, is that if you really want to get things done and you can see when her tired spots are starting to change, and you'll be like, gosh, if I take her out between, 10 and 11 and wear her out, she's going to sleep from like 2 till 3, and then she'll wake up in a better mood. Do you know what I mean? Like you'll start to pick up on that, right?
Yeah.
So this is what reflecting each day is going to start to become, because then you can schedule your days, and you can start to like plan, but not over plan. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
You can just start to structure things because you can see them daily.
Yeah.
And if you say, what did I do today that worked? What did I do that didn't work? Where was I a little bit lazy in my time? And it's just a reflection. It's not like a live by routine. It's not to judge your own habits. It's more just about reflection of going like what worked, what didn't.
Yeah.
And you know what you're saying as far as like we only had the best tools we had at the time, right? That's going to start to become like a little bit of a motto for you, because you can say who I was this morning, I'm already different in the afternoon because I've learnt already. So now that I know that, what can I implement today for tomorrow already? And when you start living with that amount of awareness and that amount of consciousness, like, you know, how old are you again? 29. 29. So like if I'm sharing this awareness with you now that I picked up, you know, say at the age of 36, right? You know, like probably mid last year, I'm sharing that with you at 29. So could you imagine where you're going to be at 36 learning this now?
Yeah.
So these are, you know, everyone has these things that we can pass on to, but it really depends on how much you're willing to implement them. And, you know, when you look back at the question that your mum asked you and then your answer, it's kind of like you're already getting it. So if you start implementing every day and going, oh, that happened last week, so I'm not going to let it continue to happen again. Things like that.
Yeah. Becoming really self-aware. I guess actively self-aware, isn't it?
Yeah, actively, yeah.
Because I've done a bit of a course on like weekly goal setting for monthly goal setting and that. And I did it really solid for a while and I have let it slip, which I think largely is the last 12 months, obviously with Grace being born. I didn't know what my goals were going to be really this year and what time I was going to have for other goals. But I feel like now that she's obviously been around a while and now we're doing this stay-at-home dad thing, I am learning that routine and starting to realize how much time I do have. So it's probably time to start setting things back up, and sort of getting more on track.
And I think that's a really good thing that you, well, you and I are you're already very forward thinking for someone who's 29.
Yeah.
So this is a really good thing just to hear you say this, because this is the difference between 4 years disappearing really fast or 4 years disappearing where you actually produced something.
Yeah.
A lot of people are starting to talk about the difference between productivity and production. And it's like, I can be really productive, you know, so here's the difference, right? So like I could be really productive. And if I look down at my schedule today and it's kind of like, I was really productive, yes, but I didn't actually produce income producing activity. I didn't actually produce money.
Yeah.
I just did a day of productivity. That's really handy. But when you work for yourself, like, you know, it's kind of like if I was going to work for myself and do something today, where was the 1 to 2 hours that I actually produced something like cold hard cash, a possible prospect, a lead? Yeah.
Yeah. The stuff you actually need to live off.
Yes, that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what was your mum's continuing conversation after that?
I think she was largely just appreciative that that's how I looked at it. And I mean, obviously, becoming a parent, the only real example of being a parent I have is my own parents. And even well before Grace was born, I do spend quite a bit of time thinking about the parts of how they parented that I like and want to continue myself, and the other parts I would like to change. And yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, doing my own thing, but I think there's lots of important things my parents did that I want to continue.
Yeah.
Which one simple thing would be that like I eat just about anything, and my parents never had trouble with me being fussy, but they also introduced me to all sorts of food. And now already Grace eats practically everything we put in front of her. So we just give her food off our plate, like she just eats everything we do already.
That's good.
Which I think is fantastic.
That's
And,
absolutely fantastic.
Yeah. And my love for books, which my parents obviously nurtured. And yeah, Grace already will just sit and flick through books on her own, which I also love.
Yeah,
So
that's
yeah,
good.
stuff like that to pass on.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
That's really good. So if you, all right, I might save the next question for next week. So remind me, I'm going to write it. Actually, I'm going to put a note.
Yeah.
I'm going to put a note in here for next week. So I'm going to keep, I'll keep 11 o'clock. 11:30 maybe. Maybe.
Next week.
Yeah. I might even keep 11. Yeah. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to write the question in here.
All right, cool.
Yeah, I'm going to write it in here. I think it's a great question. All right, that question's saved for next week. You'll love it.
Cool. All right.
Good question. Good question. Yeah. So, is there anything else you want to talk about this week, or you feel pretty good? You happy?
Yeah, I think we could leave it at that for this week.
Yeah, I think there's some good answers in there you can tie together.
Yeah, there's some good stuff there. Yeah, I've got to start going through and chopping some stuff up.
Yeah, and then you can make it really short. Remember, like make some that are really. Did I send you those too, by the way?
I think you've sent them all to me now. Yeah. So last week's going to be published tonight. So I'm going to be publishing a week behind now, which will just make sure I get it done in time.
Okay. I'm looking for. I'm just trying to remember who I sent it to, so that I can forward it to you. Oh, here we go. I found them. I'm going to send you these. This is a way that you can chop up. You can chop up content. So if you've got 15 minutes worth of video, you can chop it down into 3-5 minutes, and then obviously 2.5, 3 1 minutes, 30 seconds, 15 seconds, and then a quote. If you have a look at what I just sent you, you can go through these things and just look for like these pockets of 20, 30 seconds that you and I speak, and you can go, oh, that'd be good like on an Instagram story. And then you can chop that up and play it.
Yeah. Cool.
Because the one thing that you want to do is, I guess, this is entirely up to you, but like what you post, and especially what you post in the dads group, people are going to start to resonate with the way that we talk and what you're about.
Yeah.
And then that's how they reach out to us, right?
Yeah.
So that's what's going to help. Obviously, when it comes off your page, it's going to help you. When it comes off my page, it'll help me. So.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. I don't know if you saw, I've started doing some #dadwin posts.
Yeah, I like that. I do like that actually. And I like the way that you, we actually need to do it more often, but I really like the way that you compliment and you write back on my comments and my posts. Yeah. I need to make more of an effort to write back, so then it keeps popping back round.
Yeah.
Actually, something that we should probably do is we should probably be a little bit more active in the Australian Dad Network page.
I was thinking myself the other day, I should do that. And there's actually also a local Hobart one here as well. which now restrictions are starting to lift. I'm hoping to start doing some meetups with some of the guys on there.
Yeah, that's a cracking idea. I missed Tuesday's man walk. I set my alarm for 6 o'clock. I didn't even think. And the walk starts at 6. I totally missed it.
Yeah, we haven't started ours back up yet, but hopefully I'll put a thing into our group and see. But I think probably now that they're doing this next level of lifting restrictions, people will be happy to do it.
Yeah, I reckon people get in there.
Yeah, so hopefully I'll start that back up too.
Yeah, no, it's really good.
Bit colder this time of year than when we were doing it a few months ago.
It's some of the mornings that we've walked, I've literally had to wear my Gore-Tex jacket and a beanie and gloves and the whole lot because it's still misty. It's been really cold here.
Yeah, we've been having some pretty bad frosts overnight.
Yeah.
Which luckily at our house, because we're right near the water, we don't get them, which is great for my veggies because most people have to cover their veggies up when they got frosts, but we dodged it. All right then, son. Go entertain this one.
I shall see you soon.
Yep. All right. Thanks, mate.
Okay. Cheers.
See ya.
Bye, Ryan. Bye.